Welcome back to Monday Special, and tonight we look into the plight of hundreds of thousands who will not make it to universities in Kenya following the release of KCSE results. When the Ministry of Education hinted at low performance in the KCSE examinations, many Kenyans were not adequately prepared for the shock. In 2015, single schools recorded over 200 A students. In 2016, the national score for A was a meager 141 students. As if that was not enough, only 88,929 of the 577,000 students who sat for KCSE qualified for admission to the universities. A total of about 488,000 students remain unsure of what to do, where to go. But there's hope that is often ignored in technical vocational education and training, or TVET, colleges that will step in to absorb a good number of students, but going by past trends, it's anyone's guess that they do not rank high on many youth's minds as colleges of choice. Their total absorption capacity against the current demand of 488,000 places is just too low. So this is what we want to explore tonight on Monday Special. And joining us to explore this, Susan Kiraku, who is an educationist, will ask her questions about the capacity to absorb all of these hundreds of thousands of students and what the future holds for TVET in Kenya. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Maybe, Susan, before we hear from Sam and Bernard, I'll ask you a question, and based on some of the numbers we saw here, only 88,929 of the 577,000 students who sat for KCSE qualified for admission in uni, and a total of 488,071 students remain unsure of what to do or where to go. Is it possible for the TVETs to absorb them all?
I don't think the TVETs are able to absorb all of them, but they have capacity to absorb a good chunk. I think the challenge comes as to whether the youth themselves want to go there.
Right. And from your experience, what are they saying?
So I was sharing with you about a text I got from one of the children that we sponsored, and he got a C-. And if you allow me, I'll read you the text, which came in today, coincidentally. And he was telling me, please, Dr. Susan, my dream is not well fulfilled. Nipe second chance, and I will not shame you again. This is a C-. Then I asked him, so what do you want to do? Nataka kurudia. Please, nipate grade ya university. Please accept my request. So I told him, please talk to your head teacher, whether she'll accept, but I don't think that you have to repeat to make it in life. I said, Haki Dr. Susan, usiniachilie, you are my only hope. You are my only future in this world to rely on. Please, don't leave me. You are the only person that will open my dream. Without you, I am nothing.
Wow.
Now, this is a child that we have seen through secondary school education from a very disadvantaged background, didn't do as well as he thought he would. And he's beating himself up, feeling useless, feeling nothing, not even giving a thought that, or maybe I can take another route other than university.
Yeah.
And I think it's been inculcated in him. It's been absorbed in him that success after Form 4 is a university degree. Success after Form 4 looks in a certain way. And we have not allowed our children to think outside the box. Like, okay, now I have a C-. What else am I good at?
Okay.
What can I do?
You know, you get employers preferring to hire candidates or graduates of the reputed colleges for certain jobs. So it almost dampens the prospects for TVET graduates. So still, how do you convince someone this is an okay direction? They may be chanced and they were lucky, they worked hard, they put their minds to it, they're making a good living. But there are people out there saying, how do I know I'll make it and, you know, and won't be looked down upon?
We have to change our educational strategy in the country, and I'm happy that the Ministry of Education, in partnership with government and Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, are reforming the curriculum, because then we can start telling the children that there are different pathways. There's a pathway of, if you're good at academics, you can follow that route. If you're good at, you have a talent, you're good in sports and music, you can follow that route. If you want to go into vocational and technical training, you can follow that route. But some thoughts that came when the two gentlemen were talking was, it doesn't have, technical learning doesn't have to just be the juakali, the mechanical, everything. Why would I go to school, learn to do computer science as a theory? When will I make a computer? Or will I always enrich other countries outside businesses? When will I make my own? You know, when will we make our own cloth from scratch? Rather than, I love wearing African clothes. But I tell you, I'm sure this material is either from China, it's from the Netherlands, who they still have that monopoly of doing the West African materials from colonial days. So when will I say, you know what, I'm good enough to grow my own cotton, to turn, you know, to spin it, to dye it, to create creations on scratch, and that will now make a chain in the economy. You know, there's somebody growing it, there's somebody doing something. So technical learning should not just be juakali. It's in every sector. Right now, if you're doing a course or if you're teaching a course that is just theory-based, you're wasting the minds of the Kenyan population. You're wasting the minds of the Kenyan children. Start thinking. Even lecturers should start thinking. You're a creator. The reason why you're a lecturer or a teacher and standing in front of children is because you're supposed to change the mindsets of the future citizenry. Why would you be standing in front of children and give them rote learning, read from a textbook, they repeat, they pass exams? How have you helped anyone? Have you helped the country? Rather than asking, what are you good at? You know, so we also need to work with our teachers, our lecturers. We also need to boost. The problem is not just at the child, like the boy that I shared. Yes, it goes to his teachers who made, and maybe his parents and relatives and the greater society who made him believe that success only looks in a certain way. Countries like Germany have built, I think, one of the greatest economies on technical expertise. That's why they have the best cars and the best so many things, and all of us are grabbing. You're like, oh, I'm driving a German car. That's better than a Japanese car. Look at Japan's economy. And it's because they are not scared to dirty their hands, and they create. China, when I was growing up, was in this wall. Nobody knew about China. We used to laugh at China, this country that, you know, but they went back to the drawing board and they covered themselves and they were thinking, what does it mean to be Chinese? What do we have in this country? How can we use it to make great things, create, you know, what's our long-term plans, our long-term goals? And voila.
Yeah. As we wind up, what are the prospects of us going, because I mean you truly do seem passionate about it. You have some great points. But what are the prospects of us getting there? You know, now that we have this transition taking place, there's still people thinking, you know, how do I know I'm actually going to prosper? How do I know that, you know, because like you've said, in abroad countries, whether it's carpentry or being a technician, being a plumber, it's lucrative and you're in demand because, you know, because it's something that's treasured. So how do we begin to change those mindsets, and what are the prospects of us moving there, even in our minds, to what you're saying, that this is a great opportunity as we wind up? Okay.
So there's this famous saying that I like sharing. Let the person who thinks it cannot be done not stop the one who thinks, or the one who is doing it. Okay? So first of all, the people who have the passion and the love for country and citizenship, like myself, my organization, there are many others like me who are thinking, oh my God, I thought I'm alone, but we're there. We are alive, we are kicking, we're doing good work in Kenya. Let them not stop. You need to keep banging, and before you know it, the wall will crack. And then there are so many children. You know, only a quarter passed KCSE. The other 75, C- and below. And in that lot, the majority were D-. 70% of the low grades were D-. Majority of the children need us. It's not the minority are the ones who pass. Majority need us. They need people to tell them you can do better. I need to go back to this boy who got a C- and thinks his life is over, maybe even having suicidal thoughts because of a grade, an exam. I need to go back to him and tell him, look, what are you really good at? Let's do something. He wanted to do civil engineering. Who told you civil engineers only at university level? Ask yourself, even the many who have graduated as civil engineers, what are they doing for the country? Okay. As far as I'm concerned, there are so many foreigners coming in to do work that our local engineers should be doing. Okay. So we need that technical expertise.
And passion. We'll be right back after this break.